Happy New Year, guys. We have some very specific messages about locations. A lot of them are in the United States. So let's get to it.
When I saw you, I would lose control. Made me feel like there was no tomorrow. Should've told you that you're beautiful, but the days pass and now it's so long ago. Did you make it? Did you break free? Did you manage to be who you wanna be? Maybe somewhere you think about me too. You to deal with my sorrow. Just a memory, just a broken frame, and I know that I have no one else to blame. And I know that I have no one else to blame. Did you make it? Did you break free? Did you manage to be who you wanna be? Maybe somewhere you think about me too.
Here with Angel Souls, and we are going to just jump right into this auto writing message. I'm going to read it to you. Okay, I'm going to read it to you first, and then we'll get into some of the locations that were coming up. Now, I do want to let you know, as I was doing this auto write, it didn't feel like these things necessarily are happening the first week of the new year, but that people should be getting geared up and getting prepped and be in an awareness. Now, everything that we say here is not to freak you out. It's not to scare you. I don't think we're in that space anymore. I mean, look at everything we've already been through. Is it very easy to scare us? Do you know what I mean? So just keep this in mind as we go through this. So we have a week of January 1st, 2017, and they say, well, it has been an interesting time, has it not? Yeah, thanks for that. But things will, as you say, be charging up now, and all that will be is far different from what you know. So there was this feeling here of like, you kind of haven't seen anything yet. Do you know what I mean? Now, again, not to scare you, some of this has been very good change. Look at how people have come out and started to speak up for themselves, you know, and some of the institutions that are in place are starting to kind of go away now and or change, hopefully for the better. All right. I'm sorry, I'm getting the face tingles, you guys, if you've watched me. You know that happens. I don't know why, but it just does. Okay, anyway, let's get into it here. The human structure is changing vastly, and so you will see much go away. So we are changing as beings. So the world that we're in has to kind of it's got to change to match us. Do you know what I mean? So everything that we've been seeing, it might have seemed kind of bad on the surface, but really it was training us for something else. Now, what that is, I don't know, but they are saying that we as humans, we are changing on a very deep level. But you will have come to terms with this. So again, I remember when I first started Angel Souls and I started doing YouTube videos, any little thing that came up that wasn't sunshine and rainbows, people would be like, oh my gosh, you are freaking me out. You're scaring me. And here we are, what is it, 4 or 5 years later, and people don't react so much that way anymore. Now people are like, okay, is this what I need to know right now? Okay, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to do it, whatever it is. All right. So that's really wonderful. And I think that shows quite a bit of growth. Okay. So they say, but you will have come to terms with this. And then they started like, can I show you this? I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's sort of scribbled out, not me, it was my hand, right? But it like scribbled out California and then wrote it again underneath. Like I've told you guys before, whenever that happens, like I put a big old question mark up here. Somebody asked if I could show the writing. I mean, I can try. I don't know if this is working for you, but yeah, so I wrote California, I wrote question mark, and then they continued on to answer my question. California waves, not just this week, be on alert. Follow your guidance, and they underlined that. It surges, and they underlined the word surges. Follow your guidance, it surges through you. And then I asked, will people be in danger? What are we talking about here? Yes, period. But those who heed their inner warning will remain safe. The whole of the landscape is changing. Now, I'm having to record this a little bit ahead of time. And I just tuned in for that, the week of January 1st. So as of the recording of this, we're still dealing with wildfires in California. But it didn't feel like that was the issue. It felt like water being the issue, and they're talking about surges. So I don't know if these are storm surges or, I don't know, God forbid if it's a tsunami. Again, it's not to scare you, but if you guys start to feel a little like, you know what, let's not go to the beach today. You know what, then don't go to the beach, right? So that's really what it comes down to. There could be, and they're even saying right now, when people listen to their instincts, they stay out of danger for the most part. This would be people going, that doesn't happen. That doesn't exist. And then they go in there and they're like, oh, there's water coming closer than it should. You know what I mean? So they didn't use the word flooding though. And I think that's interesting. And as you know, I try to be very careful with these messages. So, so that I don't steer us in the wrong direction, obviously. But I just want to make that very clear. They didn't say flood. They said surge. Okay. So I asked, just going back, will people be in danger? Yes, but those who heed their inner inner warning will remain safe. The whole of the landscape is changing. And then they went into Pacific Northwest and Ireland. Okay. And they said weather and others. So that could be unrest as well. So I felt a very cold, like Arctic kind of cold. So that was the weather with Ireland, and that was the weather part, but then there's this feeling of unrest. So I don't know what comes up around that, but Pacific Northwest, that's like nature related, okay? Something happening. Again, it might not be happening right in the beginning of January, but something is coming up around that. So just be on alert. Again, you don't have to be like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world, the sky is falling. And most of you aren't like that anyway. I just think, they're getting, they're getting a little more and more concrete with like, guys, pay attention, okay? Which isn't really what we kind of experienced before. So if they're bringing it up, I would pay attention, okay? All right, so then we have natural occurrences may set you on edge. So there's like this sort of like stressed out feeling. And there's this feeling of like, oh, we have to go again, kind of thing. Or, it could be something too where like power gets knocked out and then people have to sort of, I don't know, have to make do or have to work around that. So it's like that, but it's not, it doesn't have to be dangerous, okay? Please keep an eye out for your loved ones. Please keep an eye out for the elderly, of course, the homeless. Make sure they all have places to go. But we've been experiencing crazy weather for years now, all right? And I know that's not something we should be like, oh well about, but we know how to deal, okay? Just watch out for others, okay? Be not afraid, beloveds. You will come through this. Your want for change will spur your actions. It is, as we always said, priorities. Be human, love, breathe, illuminate, and all is well. We love you. All right? So, again, a lot of times things will snap us out of our stupor. If you really get into worrying about, okay, I need money, I need to live in this place, and you know what I mean? So some of these things are going to really bring us back into reality, so to speak, but something is really deeply changing within us where we're like, okay, I'm going to worry about what's really important in life. And this is also a beautiful message. I know it doesn't seem that way, but it is a beautiful message because it tells us that we are about to really settle into understanding our souls a little bit better and what we're doing here. Okay, so I'm excited for that part. But as always, we're going to pull some cards as well. Let's get to it. All right, guys, I think for this week, I want to use the Angel Oracle deck by Ambika Waters. We're going to be pulling a color card from the Ina Segal deck, and then, of course, a crystal card from the Rochelle Sharman deck. So, come on out, little cards. They don't want to come out. Can you see this? All right, guys, so let's get into it here. Let's see what's coming up for the week of January 1st, 2018. What do we have? The Angel of Freedom. Okay, so this is interesting, and this goes right into that auto writing message. Now, the card says, I am always free to choose love, independence, and creativity. So the freedom that we have here, and that's what the card is right there, the freedom that we have comes from, we said this weeks ago, destruction. And we always think of destruction as being a bad thing, but now when it's deconstructing something that just doesn't work anymore, do you know what I mean? So hang on to that for this week because, I don't know, there's something that just feels, it's like an inner freedom. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, I have my priorities straight now. Now I know I'm not going to focus on that anymore. I don't need to worry about this, that, and the other. Okay, does that make sense? So we begin this new year setting ourselves free. And I think that is amazing and absolutely beautiful. All right, so the next card we have is the Angel of Power. We are regaining our power. Guys, I really wonder, like, I don't want to like go there, but I really wonder if there's some like world construct. That came up 2 weeks ago. Anyway, I wonder how many things are really going to be shifting in like a huge way so that, you know, we're regaining our own power as individuals and we're not so suppressed by corporations or organizations, or even, as they're saying right now, a mindset. So a perfect example of that would be the Me Too movement. Now, some people get really riled about that, but I'm happy it's happening. I really am, because I've had experiences with that as well. But now people are like, no, I know since the beginning of time, we haven't been allowed to speak up about what this makes us feel like, and now we are, okay? So that's an example of a group of humans taking back their power. Now, this could be in a financial sense as well. That's sort of secondary, but it's more about, I almost want to call it like a peaceful social change. Now, the people who are at the bad end of that, you know, they're not going to feel that way probably, but people are starting to speak up and speak out in a really nice way where people can hear you, which is great. Okay, so the card says, the power of divine love protects and enfolds me. You know, you're never alone. The divine is always working through you and can, in fact, protect you. Okay, so make sure you're asking for that protection and be willing to take it as well. You know, a lot of times we ask for help and then we're just like, la, 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 la. Then we don't listen to what's coming up. Tap into your wisdom. The angel of wisdom. Wisdom comes from the depths of my experience. And that's what we also have been talking about for quite some time. You know, the more you're going through, the more experiences you have, the more you're learning and understanding about that deeper soul self. And the better you're going to understand, we said this before, what you're doing here. Okay? So this is real wisdom. It might not all come crashing down on you on January 1st, but as time goes on, you're going to start understanding more and more. So freedom, taking your power back, your wisdom, you're seeing things for what they are. The angel of knowing. My sense of inner knowing leads me to the light. You got to listen to your own instincts. We're coming out of the brainwashing now. Okay? So what a story that's being told here. So you gotta, G-O-T-T-A, you gotta lean on your inner knowing, guys. And I'm telling you, if you get a creepy feeling about something or someone or someplace, get out of there, get away from that person, do what you gotta do, all right? It's time for you to take care of you. All right, so let's get on to, let's pull the color card next. Ta-da, there we go. I'm just realizing now, I think I have been putting 2017 like on everything. It's 2018. Are you doing that too? Are you having to like really put it in your brain that it's 2018? Shoot, I'll be halfway into April before I'm like, oh yeah, we're in a new year, right? All right. All right, what do we have, guys? Give it to us, please. What's the message? Tangerine. Be spontaneous and have fun. The number is 17. You have a lot to celebrate, guys. There's a lot of like blessings coming through right now. And because the old stuff has sort of deconstructed and it doesn't matter anymore, you can let it go. You're in your, wisdom. You're seeing things, like we said, for what they are. Now it's time to celebrate and have fun. And, pay attention to the spontaneous word on there, right? They're saying, like you can just, don't plan it out. Just let whatever, be in the flow. Sorry, I was trying to avoid that, that term. I was trying to come up with something a little more creative, but, just be more in the flow and let opportunities flow to you as well. Let things unfold. Don't worry about, okay, this is the, definition of success. So I have to do things like this, this, and this, and then this has to happen, blah, blah, blah. Now, you're going to miss out on quite a bit if you are approaching this week in that manner. So be ready for your schedules to change. Okay, maybe even quite frequently. All right, so let's get to a crystal card now. Let's see what we have. All right, maybe that right there. Here we go. Card is Brazilianite. Flexibility. I'm not kidding. You cannot make that up. Y'all saw me shuffling this, so there you go. Double whammy on the be spontaneous and flexible, okay? Because we've been saying this for years. If you try to go by the old rules, you're going to fail. You're going to have a bad time, all right? So just give your heart some space to run a little bit. What is it that you love? What do you want to manifest for yourself? Now, this isn't sitting around and like, let me manifest. It's getting into the frequency of what it is that you think you might enjoy, and then allow it to manifest. Allow it to come in the way that it's meant to come to you, not in the way that you would expect. Okay, guys? So there it is. Have a blessed new year. And as always, I'm sending you so much love. Take care.